Mike Struthers. I'm the CEO of Altaley. I joined the group in September last year, so the honeymoon period is over. Now is the time to get busy. I spent the last few months, digging into the weeds, so to speak, in the company and understand where everything was at. The company's coming off a poor year last year, but 2023 is going to be a very strong year for us. Really, I would say this is the sort of turnaround story for 2023, and I'll explain why. So, Altaley is a mining company. We have an operating mine at Campo Morado. That's been in production for a few years now. We're doing 2,500 tons a day. Campo Morado is going to have a particularly strong year, starting in Q2 this year. And we also have another operation, it's under construction. The first stage is about 85% complete. That's called Tahuehueto. That's a gold mine. At Campo Morado, we've increased our copper exposure. So we've increased that to about 40% of the concentrates, and revenue contributions will be now copper, silver. Some of the changes, new management. We've just also announced a new CFO for the company. And I've made a few other changes down at the sort of site or project level to really just strengthen the teams, and it's all about delivery this year. We have increased our copper focus, as I said, at Campo Morado. Tahuehueto is fundamentally a gold mine. Over 70% of the revenue from Tahuehueto is precious metals, 60% of that is gold. Both projects have got really good upside, both in terms of resource expansion, some technical innovations for Campo Morado, which will make a huge difference, and also just increasing the throughput. At both sites, we have good opportunities to at least by 50%, probably double the throughput at both mines, but one thing at a time. And the really crazy thing is that we're a mining company. Campo Morado, the operating mine, is going to be generating about $1.3 to $1.5 million a month EBITDA this year. The other operation, 500 tons a day is the first stage. When we get to 1,000 tons a day, which is the nameplate capacity for that mine, that is going to be generating just over $2 million a month EBITDA. Either one of those is greater than our current market cap. We're an operating mining company with a market cap of $14 million. It's absolutely ridiculous. And so it's my job to change things this year. A little bit about Tahuehueto, both projects. Tahuehueto, it's got a 10-year life of mine, double the amount in resources. The PFS was updated in 2022. You can see some of the PFS numbers there. NPV $160 million, NPV 5, IRR 65%. That's all done at 1,000 tons a day. As I say, we've split the construction into two stages, 500 tons a day first. That's the foundation to expand from. We will achieve the 500-ton project, finally, in Q2 of this year. That's something everybody who follows Altaley has been waiting for probably 18 months or more. The company has suffered from a lot of over-promising and under-delivery before, so this year is all about delivery. Campo Morado, it was originally built off a PEA. I want to update the studies and get a PFS or an FS out there and just update the market on the current plans, but 20-year life in terms of resources. At the moment, we've got a 5-year life of mine, and we'll easily roll that out to a 10-year life of mine simply by doing some additional metallurgical test work, and I'll explain more about that in a moment. This year, as I say, extra focus on copper. About 25% of the revenue will come from copper this year. That was a strategic decision we took in December. Improving metallurgical performance is key to Campo Morado, and I'll explain on a subsequent slide. And as I've said already, both of them have got good upside in terms of exploration potential. This is the board. I'll leave you to read this in your leisure. I'd say I came in September. We've got 4 independent directors. We did a rollback back in December, so our outstanding shares now is 35 million You can see the market cap there is in the range of 15 or so. About 27% of the holding is management and insiders. A little bit more about Tahuehueto. You can see the P&P reserves there, just over 3.5 million tons, just under 5 grams gold equivalent, about 600,000 ounces gold equivalent. I mentioned already, stage 1 is 500 tons a day, stage 2, 1,000 tons a day. Stage 2 delivery we'd expect to be a little later in the year, probably in Q3, Q4 at the latest. But certainly by the end of the year, we'll be operating at that level. And I mentioned what that does in terms of EBITDA. We're currently already producing. We're doing 300 tons a day at the moment at Tahuehueto on average, just pre-production. The plant is performing very well. We're getting over 50% zinc in our zinc concentrates, and we're getting 48 to 50 grams gold in our lead concentrate. So we're very pleased with the plant performance so far, especially given it's only operating at half of its design capacity. Just some graphics from the PFS, just illustrating the all-in sustaining. You can see it's staying, that black line on the graph there, it's staying well below 1,000 tons gold equivalent, $1,000 an ounce gold equivalent, and 75% of the revenues are from precious metals. Again, some extracts from the PFS. I mentioned already the NPV5. Payback is 2 years. A little bit about the exploration potential. That white area there is the current sort of mine plan footprint. That's the extent of the mine plan. But you can see how the veins, basically narrow veins, veins that some of which are narrow and go up to about 15 meters in width. Most of them are expressed on surface. You can actually stand on the hill and just see the veins going down to the valley floor and up the ridge and actually over the other side. The red ones, we've done some drilling and have some resource. The yellow ones are just targets. So there's a lot of potential there. The company's never done any exploratory drilling in the license area, so there's a lot of potential to expand. And we've only explored historically about 30% of the whole footprint that the company holds. A few words about Campo Morado. As I said, doing about 2,400 tons a day. We're doubling our copper contribution, as I mentioned. So we're doing about 2,500 tons of copper metal this year. And as I said, EBITDA for this year, about $1.8 million a month. So it's a challenging mine in the sense that it's VMS. It requires a higher level of technical management than your average mine. But there are many mines in the world operating successfully at that. And the problem with Campo Morado in the past, it's been too reactive rather than being proactive. And one of the keys to making Campo Morado more successful is being more proactive about the metallurgy. There's a consulting group, AUSENCO, which many of you would know, that I work with in Lundin Mining in Chile. I brought a team into Campo Morado in October. They did a super job for us, so we've now got a roadmap really to how are we going to progressively improve performance at Campo Morado, really from one end of the plant to the other. But one of the keys to Campo, as I say, is this expression called geometallurgy, or mine to mill. That marriage of understanding the geology and the mineralogy of the material that you're going to put in the mill and how is it going to behave. You do all that test work up front, well in advance as a part of your planning process, and then really you much reduce the risk of surprises. And that's what happened in the operation last year. There wasn't enough forward planning. They hit some unexpected metallurgical challenges in an area that should have been known about and resulted in poor performance in the first half of last year. To give you an example of some of the opportunities, the previous owners, Neostar, did some work on the comparing processing using fresh water versus recycled plant water. Fresh water resulted in a 14% increase in copper recovery. We're doing our own water test work now. The configuration of the plant is slightly different reagents, etc. But lots of potential to improve things at Campo Morado. Lots of upside. I'm running tight on time, but there are other ore zones which we know about, and we'll get to drilling those once we've stabilized the current operation. So, catalyst this year, good Q2 for Campo Morado, an even better second half for the operation. Deliver on the 500-ton project at Tahuehueto, deliver the 1,000-ton project later in the year, and then we're off. This is really a re-rating opportunity. We're ridiculously undervalued at the moment. So off you go, buy the stock. Thank you very much.